Hey, I saw a cow walk through a marijuana field just the other day and he tripped and he stumbled and hey, the stakes have never been so high. Just saying, here we go. We got a lifestyle report. Breaking news on lifestyle. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau now has granted the Royal Mint permission to release a new $1 coin. And it's all about homosexuals. Who would have thunk that? This guy, I gotta tell you, his wrists are pretty limp. If you're gonna do a coin, and commemorate homosexuality, why not do one with a gun on it? There's a lot more gun owners than there are homosexuals, for bloody goodness sakes. This is a horrible thing. This is disturbing. It's very upsetting. His government approved the coin design the 14th of December, 2017. It's a stylized rendering of two overlapping human faces, the faces forming one face, and it's clearly understood that the two human faces belong to a couple of the same sex, right? My skin is crawling. How y'all do? And the word equality, that's his famous word, equality, diversity, inclusivity. I mean, the word equality in French and English, of course, is included on the coin. This is a very bad thing. We need to have a new government and get rid of the coin, get rid of all these people first. This is outrageous, outrageous behavior. Homosexuality on a coin? Are you kidding me? I could make a whole show. I could talk several shows about this, but you just kind of bring your own stuff into it and share with us on the comment lines, right? Okay, here from a viewer. We get thousands and thousands of comments by email every week. And here's one I just wanted to share with you. The man says, I've been watching your videos and thank you, on and on. He's talking about Indians. He says, you know what? These Indians, they have reservations. I have reservations about Indians. Just saying. And they have a reservation is to protect their culture and their color. And the white people, it's hard for us to exist now. He goes on in quite a lengthy bunch of verbiage here. And he says, why don't we have a reservation to protect our culture? A big place where just white people can be. I thought at first, wow, you're not going to get very far with that. But then I read everything that he was saying. It's kind of interesting. He's saying they do it, why can't we? Because they don't want anybody mixing up or fooling with their culture and their color. But look at us, just funny stuff. Canada's immigration minister, he's confident that this growing backlog will be addressed as the refugee system undergoes some changes. 64,000 refugee claims in Canada as we speak, with 35,000 irregular arrivals. That'd be the guys that are walking across the border and saying, I'm here. And then there's a whole bunch of them that don't say I'm here. They just kind of show up, right? Refugees now are waiting close to 2 years to have their cases heard. And guess who pays for them during that time? It's kind of a neat way to live, You go across the border, you get free room and board for a couple of years from the Canadian taxpayers because they're so stupid they do that. And then you go on welfare once you're there, right? You get more money. That's not very nice. And the government now is hiring 248 new employees and 64 new immigration board judges to handle this. And then, of course, they say this is a situation we inherited from the previous government. Hogwash to that. I mean, you've had a couple of years, more like 3. Fix it, deal with it. What are you doing letting all these people into the country? Where's this money come from? Oh, I get it. It comes from all the good people, from the taxpayers. How many of these people are white? We're talking about different colors here, right? How about none of them? I mean, is that good? Is it bad? I don't know. All I know is the Canadian people have not been consulted on that. Maybe you should talk to them. They own the house. Before you bring all the boarders into the basement, maybe you should go to the people that own the property and say, hey, can we bring people in to put them in the basement? And will you feed them for us? Maybe. Son of a gun. A sign posted on a farm in East Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada is causing some tension. I think it's kind of cool. Typically, people buy a house beside a gun range, and then as soon as they buy it, they say, get the gun range out of here because it shouldn't be here. My house is a year old and the gun range is 100 years old, and I need the law to help me, right? That's usually what happens. It happens with the farms as well. Here's a farmer who's kind of bright, I think. He put a sign up on his land that says this property is a farm. Farms have animals. Animals make funny sounds, they smell bad, and they have sex outdoors. And neighbors said, wow, you can't do that. And he said, you know what? I want my future neighbors to understand what comes with living next to a farm. I mean, so don't ever come along and say, I want to change it, because you shouldn't have been here in the first place if you're not happy. And that's an interesting kind of thing that's going on. Chicago, the Tribune editor there says that gun control, this is shocking. It kind of sounds like he works for me. The gun control is not the problem or the solution. It's the problem. It's not the solution to American firearm deaths because no amount of gun control will stop suicide, which is the driving force behind such deaths. Last year in America, there was just shy of 40,000 firearm-related deaths. Gun control groups, of course, say that that's gun violence, when in fact almost 2/3 of those deaths by guns are suicides, okay? People then would say, well, get rid of the guns and they won't commit suicide. Suicide's a mental health thing, right? And then you roll over to Japan. Japan has the most stringent gun control laws on the planet, and yet the suicide rate there, is much higher than the suicide rate in North America. You know what? And in Japan, the method is hanging. I mean, if you're going to kill yourself, you're going to kill yourself. I mean, hey, we all hope that doesn't happen. I mean, mental health is a very serious issue. We all get it. But don't confuse the issue when you're talking about suicide with guns, because they're kind of different. Okay, we got something else here. No, we don't. That's it. That's all I got for the day. Y'all come back tomorrow. I'm going to have more for you from the right. Solutions are what's needed. I tell you about a lot of issues, a lot of problems. You got to get political. So many people that I know years ago, they were never involved in politics. Business people, they're too busy to vote. Now they're saying, hey, they're moving the goalposts around. And a lot of these guys are in their 60s, and for the very first time in their lives, they're interested in politics, and they're going to vote. They have voted. All of us need to do that. It's about us, and we need to get involved. We are the solution. We're also the problem, because we let this happen. We had a job description for politicians, and they didn't do it, and we didn't pay attention. We hired a plumber, and he went and changed all the wiring, and then he came to us and said, here's the bill. Hey, y'all come back. See ya.